All right, can y'all hear me? This thing says I'm live. I'm watching the side chat. Oh, looks like it's working. Well, apologies so far. This is the multi-author live stream. I guess it's multi-author. We have a few authors there in the side panel, but on screen so far, it's just myself. I guess it's the picture. So I guess since it's me and it's only me at the moment, what do y'all want to talk about? Deprime and case size before cleaning, yes or no? It's good to see you, Big Al. Deprime and case size before cleaning. Personally, I usually deprime, then clean, then size. My 9mm and my 45, I don't deprime. There's certainly not a need to. It's a preference thing. I don't think it's I don't think the order really matters on that. Andy79 Z28 says he deprimes, then cleans, then sizes. Let's do this. There's something on the screen to look at, I guess. Don says that in the 80s, he's never cleaned at all. Yeah, for the first few years I reloaded, I didn't do anything more than wipe off the grime with the rag, and that would have been about the extent of it. Jamie wanted it. Well, yeah. And Jamie, that the link's out in Slack. So anybody reloading this week or casting? I just went out earlier today and picked up about 470 pounds of lead from a guy pulling keels out of sailboats. That's awesome, Eric. Eric says he's loading some great 9mm. And he's been doing some lead sorting. Hey, I got a question for the crowd. I picked up, like I said, about 470 pounds of lead today. It has a little bit of antimony in it, but almost no tin. I've always kind of been of the opinion that it's probably best to have about 2% tin for casting. What are y'all's thoughts? Have you cast with an alloy that has almost no tin? Have you noticed much difference? Hey, Jamie.
You lonesome, buddy?
Man, that beard is rocking. I'm jealous.
It's coming off soon, man. It'll be too hot to put up with us for very long. Let me get situated here where I can see the side chat. Man, it'll be too hot.
I think we're hearing an echo from you.
Yeah.
Yeah, Eric says rotometals for mixing metal. I just put in an order for some tin with rotometals. Speaking of, this weekend, Rotometals has 10% off of most of their stuff if you use the coupon code GREEN, GREEN, 10% off. I think that's through tomorrow. I got an email from them. Welcome aboard, Vanessa. You know, lately I've noticed that it's hard to have live stream without Vanessa there. That's awesome. Awesome support.
What's up, fellas?
Hey, how's it going? Welcome aboard.
I heard you mention the beard. I had to throw a little bit of scrub out on.
I don't know if it's possible for you to on this a phone or an iPad. If you flip it sideways, I don't know if that'd work for you or not.
Hell, that
Turn
better?
it back. I'm seasick now.
Well, no, it just left you sideways.
Well, I tried it. I'm processing brass tonight, so I think I'll just listen if that's all right.
Well, that's boring.
This is boring right here.
Brass prep, that's about the most exciting thing you can do.
Yeah, I know. I got brass, and I got like five-gallon buckets of brass to go through before I go back to my doctor's appointment next week to see if I can drive.
Well, before you go back to brass prep, why don't you introduce yourself to the crowd? Folks know who they're seeing up there.
James, I'm kind of a lurker, but I'm up here in the upper part of South Carolina and up near Spartanburg. I've been reloading, but I just got back into it, and the first bullet I cast was a 458 SOCOM, thanks to you guys.
Well, that's part of the reason I had to go pick up a few hundred pounds of lead. I got a 458 SOCOM. It's a 500 grain bullet I'm going to be casting. That's a lot of lead.
Yeah. It's matter of fact, I got stuff. I'm not at home. I'm having to stay at my kid's house till I get done. But look at this honking thing. That's what I'm casting. It's a 405 grain, but that's the first one I made, so I'm pretty proud of that.
That's outstanding. Is that powder coated?
Yep, I even got it in powder coating too. I watched Fortune Cookie 45 and Elvis Ammo. I miss him, but I'm pretty happy with it. The only thing I don't know much about is putting the gas checks on them, so I just kind of seeded it with my hands.
I do that when I run them through the sizing die, James.
I haven't got my sizer in yet. Thank you. I hadn't got it in yet, so it's a learning experience. But you guys have taught me so much by listening. I just wanted to thank you.
I thank you for sending me some brass, buddy.
Oh, I'm. What kind of brass you want? I'll send you some.
I already got it.
Oh,
thank you.
Brody's wanting to know
already, man. There's Ocean.
Hey,
Hey,
how
Julio.
are you?
Well, I was starting to think this is going to be a some form of James chat. We had James, and Jamie. Yeah, at least your name starts with a J there.
I saw you by yourself, so you don't want to go join them.
What are you up to tonight there, Ocean?
Yeah, we're just watching TV. I didn't feel like doing nothing today.
That's a good plan.
Yeah.
Eric Laird is asking if anyone has ever mentioned whether or not to size or not size the Lee 55 grain cast bullet. I have not cast that one myself, so I don't have an answer for that one.
I have cast that bullet, but I have not loaded it and tested it yet. There seems to be a consensus out there among the community that one don't shoot well. So, for what it's worth, I don't know. I've not tried it yet, but I just have trouble believing that we can not make that bullet shoot.
What is it, the Lee 155?
No, it's a 55 grain.
Oh, the 55 grain.
55 grain 244, and it's got a little flat point on it, on the end of it.
Oh, okay.
What brass are you working there, James?
I'm working some old 556 brass, and I believe it's got a crimp in it, so I'm just like thinking, just knocking the primers out and getting it, and then I'm gonna run it through. I'm gonna run it through one of those tumblers and dadgum get it clean before I put it into my good stuff. I got a Dillon 650 and about 4 other different presses. I hadn't run the 650 yet though.
If you're Just a little live chat tip there. If you're running brass when you're not talking, it's best to go ahead and hit mute on your device so everyone didn't listen to the brass prep. Even though, let me ask Jamie there. What brass prep's got to be one of your favorite activities there, right?
You know what I say about that.
Yeah, no, I don't like it myself. I find it boring.
It's the necessary evil so that we get to shoot it up.
Yeah.
I will say, yeah, go ahead.
Hey, I'm sorry. You was asking about the tin and that soft lead, that pure lead. I just had that problem this week, and I'm new to casting, but I put solder, which has tin in it, in with my casting. It's been butt cold up here lately, upper part of the state of South Carolina, and I don't think it was my mold probably that was too cold too, but you got to go to Rotometals or find somebody with tin to put some tin in with that pure lead, because I just don't get a good flow without it, or I have to run it so hot that I get that purple film over the top of my lead. Then I know my lead's too hot.
Yeah. Well, I think one of the things tin does too is it helps with the oxidization. Boy. Kind of the dross on the top.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Just leave your sawdust up there. I'll take care of it.
Yeah, I do. I keep the sawdust next to the casting pot.
So y'all leave the sawdust on top of the lead pot rather than scraping it out during the pouring to cut down on the oxidation?
What I'll normally do is once the alloy comes up to heat, I'll normally throw some in there, let it char a little bit, kind of stir it in and scrape as many of the impurities out as I can, and then I'll throw another layer. After I scrape it off, I'll throw another layer of sawdust on top and leave it on there.
Okay, I'll try that.
That's what I do as well, and the reason being that I believe that first time you're kind of getting your
I'll throw another layer. After I scrape it off, I'll throw another layer of sawdust on top and leave it on there.
Ammonium tin back down in there. That's what I do as well, and the reason being that I believe that first time you're kind of getting your I'll
throw another layer. Okay.
Charlie, turn your volume down. Buddy.
Yeah, Charlie, you either need to mute the YouTube feed or kill it.
Do well, and the reason being,
I muted Charlie while sorting that out. We all do that. James Pollard says there's an old dog.
That's right. Oh, I want to show you guys something just before everybody gets on here. I did buy this Russian slugs off the Reloaders Network, and I'm very pleased with them. They came out good. I powder coated it. I got that powder from Georgia Powder Company. The shipping was really fast because I only live like an hour or 2 hours away, maybe 3. But I'm going to tell you what, I'm really impressed with these slugs. I have not put none yet in the 12 gauge, which I do reload for 12 gauge, but I'm very happy with them.
Ocean that's on here, he's a big shotgun reloader.
Yeah, no, that's nice. Very nice. It's good to powder coat them. If not, you're going to deal with a lot of leading.
Oh, yeah. That's a lot of soft lead, too.
Yeah.
So
I learned the hard way years ago.
Let's see here.
Good to see Charlie on here. What's up, Charlie?
He's actually muted. I don't think he's going to.
He'll get it figured out in a few minutes.
I muted him, but it won't let me unmute him, so maybe he has to do that himself.
Anyway, we were talking about the sawdust and stuff, and I was saying that I do the same thing Bacon does, and the reason is I think that first time that you're fluxing it, you're getting all your tin and antimony back in your mix with your wheel weights and stuff, and then the second time is just purely to keep the oxidation down on top of the pot.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
That's my
I actually do the same. And for tin, I do use plumber's tin, the soldering they sell at the hardware store.
Something
And
like a 60-40 or something like that.
another regular tin used for plumbing.
Okay.
Yeah, and I put like a few sticks in there, so like 5 inches or so, 3 inches long. Cut a few pieces and throw it in there, and it will help with the flow, and that's pretty good. I have no problem with the flow, and it filled up nicely.
Vanessa's Kitty's asking what you use as flux. Most of my flux has either been paraffin wax from cheap candles or it's been sawdust. What are you guys using?
That's what I use.
I actually use candle leftover birthday candles. I save all of those and throw that in there. And then when I have it in a pot, I use sawdust just to give it that protection or clean it up a little bit more.
Looks like the big man has joined us, and it looks like Charlie's back on.
Am I here?
I hear you, and I'm not hearing the show's echo, so I think we're good.
Oh, I had a tab open, and I was watching you guys, and then I said, you know what, Charlie, grow a pair and get on this thing. So this is first time for me.
about time.
Here I am in the flesh, boys. Didn't have time to do my hair. Lost my lipstick yet.
Something about old porch dogs and new tricks.
Yeah, this is a new trick. Uncle Jim tried to get me on one. I chickened out on him. I hated to let him down, but that's me. So this is the first go. We'll see how it works. You guys may not want me back.
I still come back, so it can't be that bad. Their standards are low. Let's just say that.
Well, that gets me right in there. Yeah, I thought maybe if I would come here, I could represent that new channel we got, Old Porch Hogs. We got a new challenge going there, our first challenge.
Yeah, I saw that pop up in Slack, but I haven't read the details yet. What are the details of that challenge?
It's not too much. 10 yards with your semi-auto using silhouette that's 18 inches high, 14 inches wide. I've got pictures of it on that channel. And let's see, 3 shots. It'd be, you start at the low ready, and then when the timer goes off, you put 2 in the, what do they call that, James? Center of mass, and 1 in the noggin. And then you keep track of your times for at least about 48 shots around a box of bullets. And then you report whatever time that represents your overall for the day. So you don't have to pick your best or your worst. Just give us a general idea. You come back to Slack, post a picture of your targets so we can see where all your shot placements are. And then people like James Pollard and Brody 556, or I only know him by Brody. People like that will chime in, that people that have done competitive shooting already and got some of these tricks mastered, because this ain't nothing like shooting, you know, like what we're used to, using the rear sight, lining things up. This is all about, you know, point and press. So that's basically it. And we're going to do it all summer and see how much improvement everybody gets.
That's that same challenge at Eagle I was demonstrating recently on his video, right?
That's where he got it from. We were talking about this a couple weeks before, and I've done a couple videos showing me shooting in that style with the timer and everything. They're pretty humiliating because I'm a terrible shot to begin with, but that's what we're doing.
Perfect.
Yeah,
go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, yeah, I mean, those videos, I saw yours, Charlie, I saw Eagle Eyes. It definitely looked fun, and it motivated me to see what I can do. I'll probably be like you and be horrible and all over the place because I just don't practice shooting like that. I need to, and I think that's a great way to motivate myself to get her done, let's say.
You know, my thoughts on that is that if you use your, what did James call it, a full power factor, major power factor round like you would use in a carry gun, in a concealed weapon, and then if you get in a scrape, all this will come to the front and probably save your life. I were the cops, not cops, it's some guy that reports on all the defensive shootings that go around. And I'm telling you, people are running and shooting up in the air, looking for cover, when all they had to do is just face the terror and take care of it in a big hurry. So I figure this will be pretty handy for that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we got about 40 folks on. We've been running for a few minutes here, so let's go ahead real quick and introduce to the crowd who you are. There's probably folks here that aren't familiar with each of us, so give them at least your screen name there on the Reloaders Network and or YouTube if that's different. We'll start with you, Charlie.
What do you want me to tell them? I was reading when you were talking.
No, just for the folks that have no idea who you are, but have to wander across this live stream.
Charles Irby is my name, I-R-B-Y. I live out in California behind enemy lines. And I think I got on with Slack about a year ago, or the Reloader. I don't remember how I found you guys or how I even got on. It's been so long. But I write articles and do little tips and tricks on videos. I got a video channel under Charles Irby. And that's about all there is to me. I cast, I hand load, I shoot. And I hang around here on YouTube,
but Charlie Brass Stuffer on the Reloaders Network, right?
Yeah, that's right. Charlie Brass Stuffer. That's my handle. That's all, boys. Next.
Jamie, let's move over to you.
Me?
Sure.
Yeah, I'm James, but I go by the old goat farmer. I used to raise goats, never went without a date. I'm retired from law enforcement, and I just got back into hand loading and reloading, and I'm a retired police officer as well. Most of your shooting is going to be real close in, so you guys make sure you practice, shooting close up. These long distance targets is great, but I like to go, 10 to 12 feet out, because most shootings happen less than that. So, that's what I do. And Charlie, I think I saw your video. Did you have a tree go across one of your fence lines or something?
Yes, I did. Yeah, that was the last one.
Yeah, I watched that video. You live up in the Sierra Nevada, somewhere up in the mountains. It's beautiful up there.
Oh, yeah, I love it up here. I just wish I didn't have so many idiots running the state.
Well, that's it for me. I'm going to turn my volume down so I can get back to processing this brass, because I got 2 buckets of dadgum 9mm to go through. I ain't going to get them all tonight, obviously, but I've enjoyed the show. I've learned a lot, and I appreciate it, fellas.
Hey, Goat Dog, I want to ask you something.
Yeah.
We're doing this challenge at 10 yards, and my thinking was that if you can work those groups in and gain speed at the same time, that distance should be beneficial to us in a close-in shoot. I realize the national average is about 11 feet, but in your opinion, being law enforcement, should we change this challenge to something closer than 10 yards to be practical?
Well, they say I think the average is like somebody can approach you within 25 feet and they can be on you before you can really speed rock or draw.
Yeah.
My thing is closer, but I've got something, and I'm not affiliated with the company. I train the Philippine National Police when I go over to the Philippines during the winter, because I hate the cold. I'm the biggest baby you ever see, but it's called this thing called iTarget Pro, and it's like a laser that cartridge that goes inside your weapon, and you shoot an unloaded weapon at this laser sensor. And I'm gonna tell you what, it's the cheapest easiest way. You can watch your groupings go all the way in and get tighter. So I Target Pro is what I use.
I have seen that and forgot about it. That's a good idea.
It is. It is. It's cheap, and as long as you don't want it, you just make sure you got a fully safe, unloaded weapon, and you don't even put a magazine in the gun. The round stays in the chamber, and you just pull the Glock. I use a Glock 19. That's what I carry. But yeah, and I'm not no expert by any form of the word, but that's what I do. I like close in shooting because that's when they're gonna get on you. Is close in.
Yeah, so you can sit in your TV chair and shoot the clock, whatever you want to shoot. Just whiz it out there and bang, and you get a laser dot.
Yeah, it's basically like you put the iPhone that's near the target, and you can use any phone you want to, but I don't say iPhone, just any cell phone, and it basically projects that laser from your weapon onto the screen, and it captures them, and it's a wonderful tool if you just want to practice getting your groups in tighter. Because a lot of people dry fire and nobody really promotes that, but I do.
Yeah, I dry fire and I've done that for a lot, but when you're dry firing and you don't have those sight alignment, and I'm talking about like Gabby Hayes or one of the old cowboys used to pull it out of the holster and blam and shoot the whiskey bottle or whatever. I would do that, but I'd have to hold my hand and lean over and see where I was pointing. Then I saw that laser cartridge that you can put in your chamber, and it'll light up when you hit it. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. Yeah, it's iTarget Pro. The letter I, Target Pro. And you can Google it. And I have about 4 or 5 units I carry over with me, and it's the best thing in the world. You can actually watch your groups get tighter and tighter as you progressively train with it. And it costs nothing other than batteries. So that's all I'm going to do. I'm going to turn my volume down or just go back and let you guys do it because I got a crud load of brass to work out.
Okay, go. One more question real quick, okay?
Okay, bro.
Go. Okay, can you do it without having one of them newfangled phones to run with it? Can you just use the cartridge and look at it where the
No, because you can get a cheap, you don't have to have an iPhone. You can use any Android phone or anything like that. But these things have got so plentiful. You can find one. If not, grab your grandkid's phone and put it up there. And but yeah, I just look at that iTarget Pro. I wholly endorse it. I don't work for him or nothing, but it's a great tool.
Your grandkid may already be used to seeing you stare at his phone and pull your gun out.
Yeah, if I had grandkids, I got a 15-year-old, and I tell you what, sometimes I want to shoot the phone, but most time he's got it up against his head, so can't do that. But yeah, that's what I recommend, though. But other than that, I'm out of here. I got brass to fix.
Hey, Jamie, introduce yourself, would you?
I will. My name's Jamie, and I'm on the JH586 channel. I do a lot of 357, 38, 35 Remington, that kind of stuff. Just got a new press. Got the new video up last night. Thanks to Kenny. Kenny sent me the Lee Breech Lock Pro, so I'm looking forward to getting into the progressive side of stuff. So we'll have some videos up on that on the Reloaders Network.
Beautiful. Yeah, I have never played with the progressive myself. I went from a single stage to a turret, and that's about as far as I got.
Yeah, that turret, the T7 turret that you have.
Yeah.
I've just to be honest, I'll confess I'm kind of lusting after one of those. But they got them on. Anybody wants one? They got them on sale at Midway right now. They're under $300 right now. That's an awful good deal on a press like that. I think, maybe,
Well, that thing will last longer than I do, so I think that's a buy once, cry once type thing.
Yeah.
Julio, why don't you introduce yourself?
Oh, me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Sorry. My name is Julio, and my name on the Reloaders Network is Ocean374. Also, I'm on Slack with the same name. I reload for rifle, shotgun, revolvers, and pistols. And my latest project I'm working on is still the 308 and also on the 44 Russian.
Boy, that 44 Russian, that looks like a fun round.
There's an article online that it was sent to me, and the a lot of people that do the cowboy action shooting, the 44 Russian is very popular for that.
Have you shot any yet? I know you were loading some up.
No, not yet. No, I'm still loading up some more. I want to try different powders.
What's your?
I started it. I stopped. I went back to the 308, and now I'm like back and forth.
Nothing wrong with that. We haven't seen anything shotgun from you in a while.
No, pretty soon. I just been concentrating on this 308, trying to get this thing working, and been doing a lot of metallic loading lately. The shotgun got pushed to the side. So
got something buzzing there, Charlie.
Yeah, that's what I noticed there. Oh, it's one of these doodads that plug into a phone touching another one. Dang this technology.
Big man, why don't you introduce yourself?
All right. If I cut out, my internet's been going crazy here. So if I cut out, sorry, don't take it personal. So my name is Eric. I have the Big Man Outdoors channel on the Reloaders Network. Started out with 224 Valkyrie, just playing around with load development. I'm starting to expand into some 30 caliber rifles, just some upcoming stuff I'm planning on doing. I'm also starting to, and I know it's horrible, but I'm starting to collect and look at the rabbit hole that is casting. So looking forward to getting into that. A lot of good information out there, as everybody knows, and I'm just really happy to have the resources out there that I have as I start this journey. So,
oh, beautiful. Now that may not work out so well for your 224 Valkyrie, but I think
no, but there's other 30 calibers that I want and I can cast for. So,
outstanding. Hey, Charlie, before you came on, I was asking, I picked up, thank you, by the way. Charlie sent me a link to a guy selling some lead, and it turned out this guy's local to me. So I went and picked that up today. Got about 470 pounds. That lead is about 3.5% antimony, but it's almost no tin. And so I was bringing up the discussion when we first started this thing of, you know, I've often heard a suggestion of about 2% tin for a couple of reasons, to include mold fill out. You've been casting for quite a while. You ever tried casting with an alloy that has little or no tin?
No, I've got like 80 pounds of that same stuff you have, and it's got like on either 0.25 or 0.5%, real low amount of tin.
Right.
Right. Okay, I've got that, and I haven't tried casting with it, and I was going to cast with some of it just to see the difference, because I'm one of those idiots that's got to sweeten things up with tin. And I generally get between 1% and 2%, and I'm real happy. Of course, the hollow points, they get real sweet with tin, you know, and pure lead. No, I haven't tried that, but I've got the same stuff you have. I'm sure glad you hooked up with him.
Yeah, that worked out well. That came out of a sailboat keel, and there's never a guarantee of what you're getting out of a keel. It could be just about anything as far as alloy.
Well, the thing he does is he goes over he's from Cast Bullets, and he has a guy there named BN Baker Nora Echo. Is that right?
Sounds about right.
BNE. Yeah, all capital letters, BNE. And you send that guy 1 pound of the lead you have in question. He keeps that pound, but he does an XRF X-ray type of deal on it, and he'll tell you every metallic component in that lead. And so this guy you just went and saw, he gets that done through B&E, so that way he can advertise it as what he's selling it to you as.
Yeah, this particular lot had, I think it was 3.6% antimony and 0.1% of tin.
Yeah, okay, I knew it was a point something.
Yeah,
just damn near not there.
I have a little bit of tin on hand, but I went on ahead and I went to the Rotometals site because I got an email about a sale that Rotometals is having this weekend. 10% off just about everything at Rotometals. What was a coupon code there? Green. The word green. Coupon code for.
Yes, it was green. Yes.
I just posted today another for sale over there at Cast Bullets, where a guy's got about 8 boxes of linotype, and it's all been fluxed twice. It's all lines of type. There's no spacers and no big letters or anything like that to mix monotype in it. So I think you can probably count on 19 BHN. But the thing about using linotype is for increasing your tin is that you're also increasing your antimony significantly because the antimony level is so high. I used to just get
about running about 12 without water quenching.
If it'll cast, I'd shoot it just like that in all the pistols.
Brody's asking what kind of mold I'm running. A number of molds. I got a bunch of casting to do, and I'm about to. I just got 3 new molds yesterday from NOE come in. One of them for 300 blackout and a couple for 458 SOCOM. No, Chico, I bought everything he had on hand.
Too late, Chico. Too late.
Well, and the stuff was about $1 a pound, but that's about what the scrap yards around here will charge you for their scrap, and this stuff was already in ingots. So.
Oh yes, the scrap yards in my area, they charge you $3 a pound.
Wow.
Hey, can I ask a question here?
Go for it.
When you're talking, all the guys that are on the side channel talking, I can read it. I don't see it on my screen. Do I need to go get an iPad or something and light that up?
There's a couple ways to do that. I'm currently using my iPad to watch the side chat.
Okay, yeah, I'll be back.
Uncle Jim, I'm not rich. I spent all my money. Actually, I've been saving up to spend on a couple uppers and some lead and things for a significant amount of time.
Yeah, you got to save your pennies sometimes to get your toys, you know.
And I may have had a birthday this week.
Oh, well, happy birthday or belated birthday or however it works. Always good to get yourself a nice birthday present, especially if it's an upper or something.
Yep.
Indeed. And since last year at this time, I was out of the country. You know, I couldn't play with those things then.
Right. Yeah, getting into the AR builds is, I mean, I did one thinking that I'll just do one, and they're like potato chips. Suddenly you're thinking about your next one before you've got your one you're working on done.
And that's a problem. How?
It's for the budget, it's a big problem.
That's it.
Uncle Jim says, "Don't say birthday."
Every time I get something here, my wife always say, "What? You order something else? What are you ordering now?"
Oh, I know. Yeah. Yep. Boss shows up. She's got that look on her face. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Bacon.
Oh no, you're good. My wife has shot most of my guns. She doesn't really enjoy shooting, but she's definitely not opposed to it. And Christmas or birthday comes, she'll look at me and say, "All right, which gun am I buying you now?"
Wow.
James?
Yeah.
Can I tabs here on this Mac without screwing you guys up so I can get a link and send it to this stupid thing here?
On the Mac, you could probably get it up and running. Just hit pause on the video itself, and the side chat may keep running.
Yeah, you got to be on YouTube to get the side chat,
Pause.
Charlie.
Holy cow. You guys didn't need me tonight. I'm going to try it my way, and if I fall off, I'll try and get back. Sorry.
That sounds good.
But yeah. Hopefully you don't fall off. I enjoy talking to you, Charlie. It's good stuff.
And somebody was asking if anybody's tried zinc in rifle, and I know a few folks have tried pistol, but I don't know if I've seen it tried in rifle yet.
No, I spoke with Willie about that, and I think he said you probably gotta have a torch next to the mold to keep it very hot.
Yeah.
Because zinc will cool off so fast, they probably even get a chance to pour that amount of lead, amount of zinc, you know? It cools off too quickly.
Just because of the size of the bullet, you mean?
Yes, with the size of the bullet.
Okay.
Yeah. With the pistol goes quickly, but with the amount of zinc you gotta pour for the bullet, it'll cool off by the time you're done.
Right. Well, yeah, the mold in the rifle and the rifle mold cavity.
Right.
And probably what the pistol is. Yep. Kind of makes sense, I guess. I don't know.
Unless it's the way you could get alloy, hotter enough that it'll stay liquefied enough to be able to make the pour.
Yeah, I haven't even casted lead yet, so I really have. Other than just thoughts, that's about it.
Yeah. Be able to make the pour. Yeah, casting lead.
Yeah, I haven't casted lead yet, so I really have. That sounds like Charlie's getting.
Other than just thoughts, that's it.
Yeah, we're getting echo from Charlie.
Yeah, mute your.
I'm killing it.
Just mute your.
That thing does what it wants to do, no matter how many times I'm touching on it. Let's see. Here's another thing. The side. Can you see that? There. I don't have a side chat. How the heck do I get a?
Do you see anything underneath the video that says live chat?
I think if you turn it the other way, vertical, I think they'll show up the live chat on that pad.
Next to where the thumbs up and thumbs down is, there might be a button there that says live chat.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, it's nothing here to push so I can see that live chat. These stinking things. All right, I'll just follow along with you guys. Try not to be too big of a nuisance. I'm going to turn this blasted thing off. Okay, sorry.
No, sounds good.
Willie says he casts 30 caliber in zinc. So I guess there's somebody who's casting zinc.
Oh, okay.
Jesse B Outdoors has to take off. There's a guy that's just getting into reloading. So it's good to see you, Jesse.
Yep, for sure.
Hey, Jesse. Bye, Jesse.
What are the guys saying on the side chat? I notice sometimes they get ignored because I'm always over there.
Oh, that's part of the trouble with the pure chaos of these, when you get so many people on screen, conversation going all over. Sometimes it's a challenge to keep up with the side chat.
Yeah. I can barely walk and chew bubble gum, so trying to read
if somebody has a question or wants to address one of us experts here, well, put it in all caps and then bake it and you'll catch it, see?
Well, that's assuming I can read.
I like all caps.
Except all caps in the world of the internet usually means you're yelling.
Yeah.
I know. I hear that all the time when I'm crazy. It means what it means out there. I'm going to straighten the whole internet out right now. What all caps means is some old fart typed it because he wanted you to see it because he can see it. That's all. He ain't yelling. When he's yelling, he will put some expletives in there and they'll slacky him out and slap him.
And there you have it.
I agree, man. It's a whole lot easier to read those caps.
Why is it so quiet? Is something on my earphones?
No, I don't think so. Can you hear me?
Well, you have to talk in all caps, Charlie.
Well, I guess Jamie's doing something else, and Old Goat Farmer, he's doing something else. So, all right, some of you other guys are going to have to do some talking.
Look here, Charlie. You recognize that?
That perked him up.
Can you hear me, Charlie?
I see it, Jamie.
Which one is that?
That's a 244
That's his
grain,
8 millimeter.
8 millimeter, 323 by 244, right, Charlie?
Talk, Jamie.
I've been talking, brother. Can you not hear me?
I guess he's frozen the picture.
Charlie, can you hear me?
Charlie?
I can hear you.
Jamie's
hear me?
talking. For some reason, you're not hearing Jamie.
His lips ain't moving.
And
Oh,
then
he might
when
be.
it's by Jamie, all I see is the logo, and the face goes in and out.
No, I can hear Jamie okay.
See, I've been telling people every time we do this, we're going to try and break the internet. I think it might be working.
I do have a question for you.
Is
Charlie.
my thing working where it's not all jerky and everything?
Yeah.
Oh, Jamie, he can't hear you. I think you have to give him thumbs up. Jamie said, yeah.
I can see you fine, Charlie. I can hear you fine.
Hey, Charlie, can you hear me? I don't think he can hear me either.
The truth comes out. Charlie's really deaf and he reads lips.
Hey, Charlie, have you been hearing the conversation the last 30 seconds?
No, I hear you and I can't hear anybody else.
Yeah, they had the same problem last night. I was just gonna hear one person, but not the others. It was Chapin. I think Chapin had that problem last night. He logged out, logged back in.
Okay, goodbye.
So, hey, Willie.
Hey, guys.
Buddy?
Hey, Charlie, they're saying that somebody else had a similar issue. Oh, there you go.
I think he's going to try and come back in.
Yeah. Yeah, Chapin had a problem with last night. He had to log out, come back in.
Yeah, Chico had a question for Charlie about if he's ever casted in zinc, I think. So
now, is that fuzzy?
No, well, I saw Chico ask it.
But is that fuzzy what's been on here?
No, that was Charlie Bradstuffer.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry. I thought that was fuzzy for a second. I was going to give him a rash of shit about zinc.
No, I think Fuzzy's busy playing with his new NOE mold.
Yeah, lucky guy.
Yeah, how about that?
I know I keep asking for a free mold. Look at that.
Yep. Yeah, that was some good stuff. Those live. I mean, unfortunately I couldn't be there live, but I caught most of them on and off after. That was some good stuff.
Yeah, it was.
I always like to see those things, especially whenever you get to know owners of companies, because then you feel good about supporting their company as you start to feel like you get to know these people and what they're about, things like that. So that was really. I'll definitely be looking at some NOE molds whenever I start looking to buy them.
Yeah, no, I've spoken on the phone with him a few times. He's a very nice guy.
I think he said end of April. I don't remember what he said now.
Can you hear us, Charlie?
Yes. God.
I don't think he can.
Sorry, people are doing things.
Charlie, can you hear me?
Hey, Charlie, are you hearing these guys?
Can you hear me,
anybody.
Charlie? I can't hear anything now.
We're going to entertain somebody tonight. That's sure.
Right. I'm getting entertained. Mission accomplished.
Simple minds
are you working on anything?
Who are you talking to, Julio?
To you, that if you working on anything or
yeah, so I just picked up a bunch of lead. I just I've been using a couple of sawhorses with an old chunk of wood from a tabletop as my casting bench, if you will.
Okay.
So I just bought something to set up an official casting station. I just got a few new molds in for the. I'm going to start loading for the 458 and the 300 blackout. I'm still working on my round ball loads in a few different calibers. I'm hoping to pick up the hollow point testing again here soon. So yeah, I got a bunch of stuff in the works and should be on video here. I'm hoping very shortly.
That's good.
Cool. Can you hear us, Charlie?
Look, he's talking, doesn't he?
I can't tell.
Charlie, can you hear anything?
Wait, who? When we lost Willie? Oh man.
Charlie, can you hear me?
I can see him laughing, but I don't think he can.
I'm not hearing a thing from Charlie.
I'm not hearing a thing from
No,
Charlie either.
I clicked on his photo and he's not doing nothing.
I can see him moving, but
Yeah. Oh well.
yeah.
Hey Willie, Big Man was asking. There were a couple of people asking about rifle bullets with zinc, and it sounded like you had cast 30 cal before. Have you gotten to shoot those yet?
I've shot several of them actually. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
What mold are you using for that?
I'm hearing. Wow, what? I'm hearing double right now.
Do you have the side chat open or YouTube open and getting the video or feedback from that? Is it a lag?
I don't know. I'm turning my cell phone off right now.
Well, there I'm hearing a little echo.
Vanessa's being mean.
I don't think so. I'm double checking.
Tonight's going to be a how-to on live streaming.
I'll tell you.
Yeah.
How's that?
I'm still hearing you.
Okay, yeah, I've done 30 caliber zinc, and I've had real good luck with it.
Are you shooting it at full velocity, jagged velocity?
Oh, absolutely.
Which mold are you using for that?
You know, I'm going to jump out and jump back in because I'm hearing double still.
I'm hearing double too. I'm not necessarily sure that it's you. I mean,
okay.
I don't know how loud or how it's very soft.
I have a Lyman mold, 3 cavity. So I'll be right back.
Yeah, that's strange. 2 days in a row having problems, you know?
Yeah.
I muted Charlie and the echo went away.
Yeah, I heard that. Can you hear us, Charlie?
Yeah, no.
Charlie's going to speak in charades tonight.
So, Jamie, what are you working on today?
You talking to me?
Yes.
I went and picked up some lead eyes for this Breech Lock Pro so that I could use my auto drum powder measure and trying to get that tuned in. Just messing with that a little bit, but
you're playing with the auto drum again, huh?
Do what now?
I thought you were going to take care of that auto drum. Not. I'm kind of surprised to see it on your press again.
That's
on the scale.
That's Kenny that wants to blow up the auto drums. I'm wanting to blow up the safety scales.
Ah.
I've got 2 of them. I got mine and Scotsman's. So any of y'all want to see some leaf safety scales go up in a big boom, just send them to me. When we get 6, we're going to blow them up with 6 pounds of tannerite.
Reloader 762 says there's lots of issues on YouTube on several channels today. I don't blame all of ours on YouTube, but I'll let them have some of that credit.
That's right.
Oh no, my double was this damn laptop of mine. I had to shut it completely down and bring it back up. So it wasn't YouTube's fault. It was mine. User error. But on that 30 cal mold, I'll have to get the number, Bacon. Sorry, I don't know my mold numbers right off the top of my head on my 30 cals. So, but I think it's like a 160 grain bullet, and it's loading them in like 94 grains in zinc. And
I was kind of curious what the ratio is there when you go from lead to zinc for weight.
And I shoot everything supersonic. I don't do any subsonic at all. And I've gotten some fantastic groups. Now that 230 grain mold from Lee, forget it. Lead, zinc, I can't get that dang thing to work at all. It's just that bow tail in the back I think's the problem. I want to have that mold shaved off a little bit off the bottom end, or at least opened up and give it a shot again.
Yeah, I don't mind a boat tail on a jacketed bullet, but you know, I had a Lee 158 grain cast bullet that had a little beveled base on it, and
he can't hear us.
Yeah, he can't hear us.
He might have to sign out and sign back in again.
I think he's jumped off 3 times now.
Or reset his system like I had to. That's too bad. I really like Charlie. Yeah. I didn't mean to interrupt you, Bacon. I'm sorry.
Oh, no. I was just saying that bevel-based bullet was annoying when I was running it through my lubricizer. But it's far less annoying now that I started powder coating.
Yeah, well, that 230 grain missile, as Elvis calls it, it's just a bad design. There's the meat plat where the loop groove is. There's nothing to grab onto, really. Like you can watch Uncle Jim's videos. They're doing that Tres Amigos, and there's nothing really to grab onto that well, you know. I think it's just a bad design. They really need to go in and redo it. But some people have luck with it. I just don't, you know.
Now, what were you loading it in?
300 blackout and 308 and .6.
Yeah.
And it was just keyholing everywhere,
wow.
Especially at 100 yards. 100 yards, forget it. They were going this way, that way. I mean, there's even in lead, even zinc, especially. Oh my goodness, that was horrible in zinc. But as Uncle Jim says, I'm a zinker. I love zinc. And I don't mean to beat a dead horse. If you guys have zinc, you should save it, because one day you are going to run out of lead.
And you can cast with other metals, but when tin is $20 a pound.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I don't know how it is in your states. In California, if I buy a 5-gallon bucket of wheel weights from a tire shop, I might get maybe 10% lead, and the rest is steel and zinc.
So do you buy your molds now thinking in a zinc, thinking that you're going to be casting for zinc? Because you can't just use aluminum molds for zinc, right? You got to use.
Yeah, aluminum gets tore up really bad. I try to mainly think if I can afford, because steel molds are so expensive. So if I can't afford a steel mold, then I go towards a steel mold.
Okay.
But I'm trying to work I have a lot of aluminum molds now. I did a big buy. I don't know if you saw on my channel. I did a pretty big buy of 6 cavities at one time, but I just don't want to ruin them, and zinc will eat them alive.
Right. Oh, man.
Been fun.
We see your sign, Charlie.
Thanks, Charlie. Sorry it's not working out for you, buddy.
Charlie, I don't know if you can hear me, but I think I hear you.
I can hear his paper.
I hear his paper.
Yeah.
Oh, I was hearing him right. So
yeah, I just don't think he was hearing us.
No, he said he couldn't hear.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yep.
Yeah, I really like old Charlie. He sent me a bunch of bullets and stuff, and he's always quick with the advice and eager to help. And You know, he's a good dude. I really like him.
Yes, he is.
Yep.
I don't think I ever really met anyone I didn't like out of our group. I mean,
Yeah.
we all have our own opinions on certain things, but I mean, I've never can never say I never liked anyone or disliked anyone that bad.
Usually the really undesirables get bored pretty quick and go look for somebody else to troll.
Yeah, like Uncle Jim. Ah, love you, Jim. I know you're on the side chat. I know you're there.
There's the Warsaw Patriot.
Yep.
Hey, it's all caps. Charlie's in the side chat.
Yep. Charlie's there. Yep. So, as a person who's starting to look at molds and things like that, should I, like you say, Willie, think about zinc? So, should I focus on just going for the steel molds?
Well, no, I wouldn't. I can't sit. I'm not going to tell you yes. Go straight for steel. If you can get aluminum molds at the right price, see the problem is there's not. I mean, there's a lot of steel molds out there, but you're not going to get the 6 cavities, or if you are, you're going to spend a ton of money. You know, there's even 8 cavity steel molds out there, but you're going to drop a tremendous amount of money on them. It all depends on, I don't know what state you're in and what the lead quality is in your area. Where I am, and when Kenny Eagle Eye Shooting was here in California, we're stuck. I mean, we're under the thumb of the government. There's nothing we can do. So, without spending a great deal of money on lead, it's still cheaper than buying jacketed bullets. But if you can find, I'd say yes. If you can find a steel mold that's the bullet you like, I would buy steel, because you can still make lead no matter what, and it'll last for. If you make a boo-boo, you're not going to hurt that mold. You could rust the heck out of it. You can wire wheel it, oil it, and put it back in your, like cast iron. It's going to last forever. Where with aluminum, you could gall it up bad or make a mistake and ruin the whole.
Yep.
I don't want to lead you that it's, be scared. You have to have steel. You have to do zinc. I'm not trying to do that to anyone, but from what I'm seeing from California, lead is hard to get, and it's becoming more and more and more expensive.
Right. No, I'm just, like I said, I'm just starting. So I'm trying to get some lead. I haven't really spent a whole lot of time. My buddy has some. He's got a mess of lead that I can use to cast, but just, just thinking ahead. It's always good to be thinking ahead.
Oh, yeah. If you can get lead now, even if you're not casting, get it. Like Bacon said, if you find a guy with a boat keel, you can always add tin, to it, or lanotype or something to harden it up, because a lot of that's soft lead. But if you can get a good contact on wheel weights, gobble them up while you can.
Yep.
That's the best. Stock ahead. That's what I say. Like Chico Eyes, stock ahead. Find the deals and stock up. Because if not, there's someone like me who's going to take it.
And right now, you can buy bullet casting like hardball. Hardball is a common one you can get from a few different companies, which is a great alloy to cast with. It's ready to go in the pot, and it's you can buy it in ingot form from several companies for neighborhood of $2.25 a pound, maybe a little more, a little less, depending on who it is.
Yeah, I believe Rotometals, it's one of the companies, does you buy $100 worth of product, there's free shipping.
Right.
I believe they still do that. And they have great hardball, lanotype. They have everything. Zinc, pure zinc. Some stuff I would never do, But I like Rotometals. It's a local California company, but you're right, Bacon. There's a lot of companies out there have it.
I know off the top of my head, I know Missouri Bullet Company, you can buy the ingots to cast with, and Acme Bullets, you can buy the ingots to cast with.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think Chico Wise has Acme Bullets in the side chat. I don't know if that's what he's referring to or not. Okay, I think so. Yep, because he had said that following the chat. So what's a good price for lead? I mean, I know it varies, but I mean, just in general, like what's a good price for lead? You guys are saying like $250, $225. I mean, is that a good price? Is that a mediocre price?
Me personally, I find paying $225, $250 for lead a pound is actually expensive.
Well, are we
it's
talking lead or are we talking lead alloy? Because lead itself may not be too bad, but if you want any tins, if you want any tin in it, that's your most expensive component right now.
Right.
Tin right now is you're going to pay $15 to $20 a pound if you're buying it by itself.
Absolutely.
Dang, man.
Yeah, see, California, it varies. Sometimes I can find $2 a pound, and that's, to me, it's outrageous. And some are saying $4 a pound. Sometimes if I find $1 a pound, I gobble on it. I mean, my wife hates me when I do that. I'd love to have Elvis Zamo's contact with the wheel weights. You know, filling up those 50-gallon buckets, it just makes me want to drool. You know?
I think there's a lot of people still drooling over that his 55-gallon drums, and that video was a long time ago.
It was a very long time ago. We need Elvis to come back.
Yeah, there was a guy on eBay a few years ago. He had a ship's keel. He melted it down. He was selling about $1.60 a pound, and I ordered like 80 pounds of it. You know, for that price, I didn't mind paying that. You know.
Yep.
I get a lot of mine off eBay. To be quite honest with you, I had a guy. He was selling like 21 BHN. He was adding the tin and everything else, and I was paying with shipping like $2.25. But it was coming super hard, like 22 BHN. And to me, I could soften it up for pistol if I wanted to, or keep it hard for rifle, and it was worth it. But he's out of stock right now.
Yeah, I did that one time. That thing must have been like probably 30 BHN. That stuff was so hard. And they were long sticks, you know, about 2 foot long. And I bought 4 of those sticks. It must have been close to 100 pounds. And so what I did, I just mixed it in with the regular keel and add a little bit of tin in it just to make sure and just to soften it up quite a bit, you know, because the stuff was so hard. And that's how I make my own mixture. Yeah, I stretch it out.
Yes, sir. That's very smart. Of course, you got one of those 44 hand cannons like Bacon.
Yeah. That 44 hand cannon uses a lot of lead.
You know, I thought it did until I started looking at this 500 grain mold for the 458.
Oh, yeah. I can't wait till you shoulder that and shoot that little pistol. I want to see that video.
So I was thinking I need to find a large magazine, because if I can fit 14 of them in there, I can do a 1 pound mag dump.
Oh, my gosh. Now, I want you to wear a tank top, and I want a before the shoulder and an after the shoulder video, because I know that's going to hurt. Oh, my God, you're a crazy man. A 458 pistol.
I may have to, the dust cover, you know, you can get those engraved with stuff. I may have to get that engraved with no pain, no gain.
Or it just says, ouch.
Yeah. That's what the brace says. Ouch.
That one, actually, it may not be too bad for the shooter, but the guys at the range on either side of you may suffer, because it's got a pretty good sized muzzle brake on there.
You're a crazy man, sir.
I'm thinking 10.5-inch barrel with a big muzzle brake. The neighbors at the range may not be too fond of that.
You'll be all by yourself for 2 or 3 sections down.
Perfect.
So you got there Echo and the Bunny Man. He said they sell the keel at 50 cents a pound right at the ship's yard.
Long way to a shipyard for some of us.
Yeah.
Good night, Scotsman. Don't work too hard, buddy. Sorry, Julio, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I'm bad at that.
No, it's okay.
So can you collect? Do you have a way to collect the lead that you shoot, Bacon?
I
Get it
don't.
back?
So I asked the guy that runs the range that I shoot at about doing that, and he said no. But that same guy has given me, what is it now? He's probably, over the last 3 years, he's probably given me 180 maybe 120 pounds of range scrap that he has collected himself. He used to cast, he used to shoot. He doesn't do it anymore. I'm staring right now at about 50 pounds of range scrap that he's handed me that are in big ingots already. So
Yeah, that's great. That's a great contact to get.
Yeah, I try to collect lead here, but in this state, it's a big no-no.
Same here.
Yeah, no garages, not even a range. They say no.
When I go to my sister's house to shoot, I use a 5-gallon bucket full of phone books with a steel plate in the back so I can keep my own lead.
Right.
You know, so I can keep using it over and over and over again. And I have a separate bucket for zinc, so I don't do a boo-boo.
even if you can't collect your own lead, it's still a lot cheaper than shooting all jacketed bullets.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And think how long your barrel's actually going to last with lead. You know, you're not going to wear that barrel out unless you're doing super hot. You know, you're going to burn your forcing cone before you're going to burn your barrel out.
I've got a mold I picked up from NOE for 6 mil. I'm going to try it in 243. I have no idea how that's going to work out, but that's one I'm curious about. I know 30 cal works real well with cast, but getting smaller than that, that's going to be interesting. Have any of you guys shot cast bullets in something smaller than 30 cal?
I can't get 5.56 to shoot well at all. Those 55 grain Lees. Some people say they can. I can't. It looks like a shotgun. Time I get done, they go this way, that way, this way. I mean, it doesn't matter. I can't get them in the group. I've tried different powders, powder weights, different primers, everything, and I just 50 yards. Okay, cool. 100 yards, forget it.
I figure if nothing else, the 243 I could load pretty light, and it'd be a good plinker for the kids.
I was talking about that earlier, Willie, before you came on. A lot of us have not had any luck with that. I was telling them that I've loaded it, I've cast it, I got them ready to load, but I've not loaded any and tested them yet.
Well, maybe you have better luck in Georgia than I do here in Cali. I hope. I'll pray for you that they'll work better for you. Because I want someone to find a good, honest load that works. And I'll be the first one to say I'm following Jamie or following Bacon. I don't care. I just want to find someone who says this mold will work.
Well, I think the first powder I would try would be either Ramshot Tac or the Shooter's World Tactical Rifle, because that's really worked well for me, surprisingly well for me in 35 Remington. I had no clue that the Western Powder Tac would shoot as well in that rifle as it has. And I can't remember the load, but you got to remember those have all been cast bullets too. Mm-hmm. And they're running, seems like they're running 16 to 18 BHN. And that's in a Marlin with a micro groove barrel. So that's I've been pretty blessed on that. So I've got a 10th load loaded up. I'm gonna go test it, and then I'm gonna start fine tuning those and sprinkling in some store bought bullets in there too. Because I've got the Hornady, I think it's FXTs, the ones with the rubber tips on the end of them, so that they won't set each other off in a tubular magazine. And then I got some Sierra. I think they're Pro Hunters with the flat base. I like a flat base bullet for hunting. I don't know why, I just do. And they're 200 grain round nose, but they're wide round nose. You know, they're not going to set a primer off. So I can't wait to get them. Then I got I've got my first test loads of the 8mm already cast and loaded up too. So I got lots of stuff to do, and still hadn't done the video on this trimmer I've been wanting to do for the Emperor. when I first did an unboxing on this thing probably 6 months ago, he said he wanted to see it in action, and I hadn't done that case trimmer video yet. And part of the reason for that is that thing's been aggravating as the day is long. I ain't gonna lie. And the reason was I kept getting different links in the brass as I was trimming it. Do any of you guys have trouble with that with the lathe style case trimmers?
Ask that again.
Me
sorry.
personally, I have an old RCBS trimmer I use, and I really haven't noticed any difference. But what I need to really go into is start checking different manufacturers of brass to see if there's going to be a difference. Normally, I don't case match each manufacturer. I just trim, and I'm assuming they're all the same. But I need to start looking, because I've seen some videos where people are saying that, say you have Lake City brass versus Winchester brass, are getting different links. So I don't know. I'm like, Julio, you had that problem when you got those brass on your 308 sent to you. They're all trimmed the same machine, but they're different links.
Right.
So,
and plus also the headspace on them was also different also. So whatever equipment they're using, yeah.
I know, I believe
getting that mess straightened out little by little.
I think Kyle said the guy has a bunch of 1050s and he has the Dillon case trimmer on it. So
Yeah.
you'd think that it'd be all the same, all length, but you were having the different links and different shoulder links. So
Right.
makes me go, I need to start paying more attention. So I just have the old RCBS with a drill attached to it, and I just keep going and going and going. Now, Kenny said that Lyman is really loud, that new case prep center they have, and that made me go, wow, I like that since it has the bushing, but I don't know now second thought, because it's like $140 for that trimmer.
Yeah, and Gavin Tube did a review on that thing, and he was using it, and he was getting very consistent trim lengths on the 223 brass he was doing. But when he switched to 308, he was getting 5-6 thousandths of variance there.
Yeah.
Even with that thing.
Now, the one Taco has, if I could afford it, that one would be good.
I haven't even bothered looking up the price on that just because I know it would not be comfortable.
Exactly.
What trimmer does he have?
I don't know the name of it. I'm sorry. Maybe someone in the side chat might know. It's beautiful though. I'd love to have it.
I can't remember the name off the top of my head. It trims. It also chamfers and deburrs all at the same time.
Yeah, that would be worth a good bit of money. No wonder they can charge what I'm assuming they do for it. But mine's just the regular little Hornady Camlock case trimmer. And I've got it doing a lot more consistent now, but I've done some things to it. Like I took the handle off, the handle that you use like that. I took that handle off and put the power thing on it so that I can put my little electric screwdriver up on there. And the problem didn't go away. So I took that back off and I put me a flat washer on there now so that I'm limiting the distance that whatever I'm using to turn it, whether it be the hand crank or the power turner. See, what's happening is you've got these two nuts in there that you use to adjust your length. Well, it's got a rubber washer in it. So if you push too hard on one side and not enough on the other, what happens is that's either opening or closing with that rubber washer in there, and it's varying the length. So the next thing I'm going to do is I was thinking I might take that rubber washer out and put a lock washer in there, and then lock it down to where it's going to stay in one spot. I think that's going to take care of that problem. But I don't really care when I do. I use. Let me see if I got one. handy. I don't. Y'all know the Lee case length gauge and lock and the lock stud and all that with the drill. You know,
Yeah.
that's what I used forever. It's cheap. It works. But they weren't trimming back far enough. You know, when I'm trimming cases, I want them like I want them to go 10 thousandths back from the max. I don't want to be trimming brass every time I reload. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So if it's taking it back from the maximum length or over the maximum length down to say 4 thousandths below the maximum length, well, you're going to reload that case 2 times. You're going to have to go through the act of trimming all of them up again. And I want them back further. But even at that, even if we're only going back 4 below the maximum, I want them all to be 4 below the maximum. You know, I don't want one that's 6 below maximum, another one that's 2 below maximum. If you're going to get consistent results from your loads, they all need to be the same length.
Right.
And with what Big Man's been doing on his channel, that would be increasingly critical for. To me, the longer the range that you're shooting, the more critical all the aspects of what's making up that cartridge is. You know, they need to be all the same, all uniform.
Yeah.
And
go ahead. Go finish what you were saying.
Charlie's telling me I'm OCD. I know, buddy.
I was just gonna. That's exactly what I was thinking about. I mean, I know exactly what you're talking about because I look at that and I'm just starting to trim. And I'm getting the case length comparator because, you know, like you say, I want to push this thing out there and I want it to be as little variance as possible. But the thing I have to think about is where do I draw the line? What's good enough? Because I don't know that I'm ever going to be able to do it consistently and have everything exactly the same. I mean, there's going to be variance. It's just the way it's working. Even if you do have that, you know, how is your powder going to affect that? Like, I mean, are you down to the individual grain of the powder and things like that? I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I hear what you're saying, and it's just like, because you could go crazy and you could spend all your time just trying to get everything exactly perfect. And I don't know that I'd be able to do that. I mean, I'm going with, I think maybe 2 and 3 and maybe 3 thousandths difference in my case trimming. And maybe that's just the way I'm doing it. I don't know, but I think that's good enough.
Well, your Hornady case comparator, that's checking you're going from the datum line to the case head.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's not your overall case length. That's not about trimming. That's about your sizing die.
Yes, and that, I mean, that's the other thing that I'm starting is checking the how far I'm bumping back the shoulder, things like that. The point being that you can go crazy almost with every little piece of it being like you're saying with the case length. Those 1 thousandths in case length make that much of a difference for what I'm doing. And
to what I'm doing, no, I want a 100-yard hunting round.
Right.
Know? So, you know, if I get them back below maximum, you know, yeah, okay, I'll deal with that. 2, 3 thousandths, I ain't going to sweat a whole lot, but
Jay, if you want a 100-yard hunting round, I'm assuming you're talking deer.
Oh yeah.
You need minute of pie plate.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you don't, for what Kenny's doing. Kenny's going perfection, super long distance. Then you need to be technical on your overall links, everything, your grain, powder charge, your bullet weights, making sure the casing weighs the same, making sure the case can hold the same amount of powder, everything for what he's doing. For what we're doing, between 100 to 500, no, the 3 thousandths difference not going to make one bit of difference in reality. You're not trying to get the same hole at 300 to 400 yards, you know. It'd be nice if you can cover 5 shots with a 50-cent piece, in my opinion, at 200 yards, 300 yards. That'd be super to me. At 100 yards, 50-cent piece, I'm happy. I'm a static, and I can do that a lot with my 300 blackout with jacketed and some lead now. But like the ones I sent Julio, I think I had a half-inch group at 100 yards with 5 shots, and that's the 312 155 2R. That's the only one I pretty much mold besides 9 mils I know off the top of my head. That I resized down to 309 instead of the 312 for the SKS. But I love that bullet, gas checked and non-gas checked. So for what we're doing, at least what I'm doing, a few thousands is not going to bother me, not one bit, But look at brand new brass. You can get brand new brass 6,000 shorter than some are shorter and some are longer. I mean, I hate the idea that I'm spending good money on brass and now I got to go trim it.
Right.
Now I need to resize it, bump the shoulder, do everything. It should be done automatically. I pulled brand new manufactured brass apart and had 3,000 difference in the case. So.
Well, I would just beg to differ with Mr. Bacon. The pie plate ain't good enough for me at 100 yards, man. I'm sorry, but
I'm not saying that's what you should aim for, but the reality is you're within that 8-inch circle at 100, and the deer's at 100. You still got it in the boiler room.
Yeah, you got
absolutely, and I agree with that. But
I'm not saying that should be your goal.
My goal, especially in the 35 Remington thing, is MOA. If I can get MOA out of a lever gun with 2 barrel bands around it with micro groove barrels, hey man, I've done all right.
What kind of sights are you using with that?
Say that again.
What kind of sights are you using with that?
I've got a old. I think it's an old Tasco 4-power 4x32 scope, but it's old enough that the Tasco scope was made in Japan, not in China. So,
let me answer that for you, Jamie. Bacon, we're old men. We need optics.
No, I understand that.
See those iron sights no more.
That's just it with those iron sights. You got some sort of fiber optic or brass bead up front, and you're going just irons. It just about to cover up the whole target.
I got to glue a magnifying glass on my pistol sights so I can see them.
Yeah, that's what I do.
I got
my reading glasses and a magnifying glass because I can't see.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, I'm at the point in my life now where if I don't have a scope on a rifle, I'm pretty much toast. I can see this. I can see the sights if I got my glasses on. I can take my glasses off. I can see the target, and the sights are a blur. But one of them's going to be blurry, and that's the way life is unless I have a scope now. So,
yeah,
it's interesting you say that. Just a couple of days ago, I realized I had never seen it on their website. NOE has a rail designed for the Rossi 92, so you can put optics on that lever gun.
That would be cool because I'm trying to work up a deal for one. I've got some loads loaded up for 357 Magnum that may be too hot for my handguns, but I think they'll do great in there. Well, it's 16.5 grains of H110 with 158 grain cast lead bullet sitting on top of it. So
yeah, that's gonna be a wee bit warm there, Jamie.
I've used 15.5 grains with that setup.
With a 2-piece frame?
Not until I pulled the trigger.
I had to do it.
Not until I pulled the trigger.
Not until you pulled the trigger.
I like it.
Jamie, look in the comments. Somebody says he has a Rossi 357 for sale.
Yeah, that's Sigurd the Rider. I've talked to him about it. He was going to send me some pictures, but he never did. That dude's cool. You guys that don't know Sigurd, go check his channel out. He called me up one night, or I called him up one night after we met up on Slack. He sent me a message. I called him. Man, we wound up talking for an hour and a half. Like most of the time, that's the way it happens with us guys on that are interested in stuff. You get talking about stuff, but not only is he a loader and shooter, he's a biker too, and we have that in common. And yeah, he made his own case annealing machine. That's pretty cool. He's got a video up on it, and then he's built a rifle that I was really digging that too. So pretty good dude. Y'all check him out.
And there are several folks that have asked to become authors on the Reloaders Network recently. I'm still setting some up, but he's one of the most recent that's been added there.
Cool. It's awesome.
Yeah, that's good.
It's kind of odd that the community is starting to grow. I know the wintertime doldrums, we can't get out. We can't go shooting and testing our loads and stuff like that. And we get kind of dragged down getting the doldrums and all. But now that spring's coming out, we got people coming out to do stuff. We're seeing more and more videos getting posted. The Reloaders Network's growing, and YouTube's trying to kick us off all at the same time. So
yeah, I think all that leads to itself, leads to this community itself growing.
YouTube's trying to kick us off all at the same time. So
yeah, I think all that leads to itself. Yeah.
It looks like Thorzax is here, and we're getting echo from you, Thorzax. So
you guys hear me?
yes, and Dave, how are you, brother?
Hey, Dave.
Hey, doing pretty good, man.
Hey, Dave, if you can hear me, you have the video on still, so you either need to mute it or kill it because we're getting the echo from it.
Or the TV or something in the background.
It's the live stream.
Yeah, it's a live stream.
Yep.
Well, that's outstanding. I'm glad Dave finally got on one.
We've tried several times with him, and he can never get his audio to work.
Yeah, you got to get Cookie on here too. That'll be good.
We've mentioned that idea, and that I didn't get the impression that was likely to happen just because it sounded like just being busy, just running around doing stuff. But definitely propose the idea.
Absolutely.
Maybe Dave's still working on it.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay.
And no echo this time. So
yep. Yeah, I think it got cleared up. So good.
Yeah, I'm here.
Welcome aboard.
Dave, I think this may be the first live stream I've heard you on.
Thanks, man.
I think he's listening to the audio coming from the YouTube chat or the YouTube stream instead of the Hangout stream.
Yeah, there's a slight delay. He's waiting to hear us. I'll be happy to have him do that as long as he's here with us.
Yeah.
Are you hearing us, Dave?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Awesome.
Good.
So what's on your mind? What are you
it looks to me like we got an echo here. There's something that's doubling up.
Yeah, if you had your YouTube on your laptop or your computer and then went on to Hangouts, you need to go kill the other one. That's what I had to do.
Is that coming through, Dave? Hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, okay.
We all been here, Dave. Trust us.
Yeah, we have.
So Dave, we've seen you playing with the Russian slugs lately. Are you going to continue on that path in the near future, or you start doing something else?
Actually, I'm going to shelf that. You still there?
Yep.
Did you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and shelf that. That's you know, after I went and fired those fragmentation, slugs, I found out that the wads were deteriorating and, you know, they were disintegrating and on the edges where the gas seal was. And that's when I started thinking that maybe the plastic was made up of different, you know, composites that wasn't really agreeing with the pressure zone, because, you know, that wad is actually for, it's for a skeet, you know, load, a light skeet load. And I don't think it can handle that pressure. So until I go ahead and get some new wads, I'm going to go ahead and get some from Sarvag. I'm going to go ahead and talk to him and see what's going on, and then include that in on an order that's going to go to you, James, and then I'll get with you and get the wads.
Yeah, that'll be awesome. That's a light skeet wad and a 500 plus grain slug. I can see where that might not match well.
I'll tell you what, it hits with authority, you know, and a lot of guys went and said, hey, you know, it wasn't too bad. The accuracy wasn't too bad. Well, I'll tell you what, those Sarvag molds, I'm telling you what, dude, man, I put 4 shots through the same hole with that hydrogen slug. The accuracy's there.
Yeah.
These will shoot. It's just that finding the wad, so when it releases from the muzzle, you get a permanent gas seal all the way to the end, and you get that muzzle blast. It's just right. That's when it's going to go ahead and it's going to hit the target dead center, right where you were aiming, right where you were aiming. I'm telling you what, those slugs are awesome.
And I don't have any plans of it in the near future, but I'd love to see one of those fragmenting slugs in ballistics, Joe.
Well, I think Tough Later Mouse already did one. Jeff and those guys already did one. In fact, they fired it through a 5-pound gummy bear, and it just obliterated it.
That's like merging a coffee mug and a hollow point.
Yeah, pretty awesome. I'm telling you that right now. Yeah, I got a couple of Mossbergs, you know, that are just standard, you know, 2 3/4 inch, you know, chambered guns, smooth bores, and then I have the 835, which is a 3.5 inch mag slug gun, and so I might be getting a little inaccuracy because of the chamber dimension, you know, and the way that the bullet is being released from the end of the shell. And as it goes through, and it's gonna hit the area where, you know, it goes into the rifling. I think there might be a little bit of distortion there, but I don't know. The hydrant slugs didn't seem to care.
Oh, there you go, Willie. You need to start making some shotgun slugs out of zinc.
That would be different. That would be different. You'd have to have one hell of a big ladle full poured in fast enough to make it, but possible. Now, Dave, are you going to get back to your pistol shooting?
That's something that I think I'm going to go ahead and I'm gonna do. I think I'm going to go ahead and start off with some 38 special here and get going with that. I got a whole bucket load of 140 grain Lee semi-wide cutters that I need to run through my star unit and get that all squared away. And I think I'm going to load those with like 4.0 of unique, you know, start off with that and then put it through some of my guns, you know.
You got to break that beautiful K31 out.
That right there is still in reserve. And, you know, I don't know what I'm waiting for. The weather's good, and I need to go out there and I need to sight it in. And one of the things that I want to do with that rifle and the way that I built it was to be an offhand rifle.
Now, how do you build a rifle to be an offhand rifle?
Well, in high power, you know, your very first stage of high power is you're going to shoot 20 shots or 10 shots standing, unsupported. In other words, there's no sling, there's no nothing, and you just got a glove on and your jacket. And what you do is you stand there at 200 yards and shoot at a standard, bullseye. And you do this all with open sights. And so you just stand there and you take a shot, you take a break, and then you take another shot, and then take a break, and then take another shot, and then you take a break, and then you take another shot, and then you take a break. And you just do that for however many rounds you're going to fire. And then what you do is you go up forward and then you score the target and see how well you did, And that's basically what I kind of built the rifle to do, because it has a great balance to it. That gun is made to be shouldered and shot. That's the way that stock is set up.
Did you put any lead in your stock, the back of the stock? Have it weighted down?
No. No, it's actually pretty thin, under the barrel, and mostly, the weight is shifted, to where the action is. The action on that gun and the way that the whole thing balances is right there. I can take my glove and stick it up there right in front of the magazine and hold the rifle right there and have the barrel sticking out there and still shoulder that rifle and let go of the back of the stock, and it'll still stay in my shoulder. That's how you tell whether or not a gun is going to shoot good offhand. If it starts to move down in your shoulder, that means you have too much weight in your stock.
Now, do you reload for that
have
one?
it so where when you bring the offhand into your body up against the next, up against your body there, wherever your hand is, that's where you want the gun to balance. If that makes sense.
Oh yeah, I shot high power. I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
Do you reload for that one?
Yes, I do. IMR 4320 with a 168 grain bullet, and I also have some 190 grain that I'm going to go ahead and try.
Do they make a lead bullet for that rifle?
Yeah, any 30 caliber rifle, any 30 caliber bullet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's 30 caliber. They just call it 7.5.
Oh, okay.
The actual dimension of the bullet is actually like 307, 306. So you're putting a little, you with a 308, 309 diameter bullet, you're putting a little squeeze on it, but that's not going to hurt anything. It doesn't hurt accuracy. It doesn't hurt the barrel. It doesn't hurt anything. But just the GP11 round in itself is kind of an engineering marvel. It really is. Those guys knew what they were doing.
Yeah, I also heard it's a very accurate rifle.
Yeah, I've heard nothing good about that rifle.
You guys get any feedback?
Nope.
No, you're fine, Dave.
Yeah, you sound
I'm
clear.
fine.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
You're 5x5.
Right on, man. That's what you need to do, Willie. You need to get out there and try some offhand. Load up that M1 Grand.
Oh my God, I do. But the problem is with my feet. Oh my goodness, I'm a weebling and a wobbling, Dave. Let me tell you.
Get yourself a bucket that you can put your foot in and fill it up with ice water.
Yeah, I can't feel my feet anyway, so I could shoot my foot off and toe off and wouldn't even feel it. But yeah, I had custom-made boots made for offhand where my heel was shorter, so I was able to squat back a little bit better for balance. So yeah. Yeah.
I was going to ask you, did you spend any time at Fort Lewis?
No.
You didn't?
All my time was Benning mainly.
Oh yeah. Okay. I just wondering.
Yes, sir.
Wes Cavenia says shoot from a lawn chair, Willie.
Yeah, absolutely, Pat. That'd be great. But since I've had the gastric, I've finally been able to squeeze into my old shooting jacket, even though the rats ate the inside of it out, so I have to wear a sweater and sweat my ass off and even more now. But
yeah,
it's
all
fun.
part of the game.
Oh, of course it is. Absolutely.
Yeah, I wear a hoodie. I put a hoodie on, then I can take my hoodie and put it up over the top of my my shooting hat, that has blinders on each side. And then that way my shooting hat doesn't move down my forehead when I'm firing.
Yeah, I have the blinders on my glasses when I do it.
Yeah. Yeah. It helps you from, this is the thing. This is, guys, I know I'm going to get a lot of rocks thrown at me here. I see a lot of guys run out there and they're going to want to shoot steel. They want to shoot real fast in the way of pistol and all that. And now this is just me. This is just my opinion. Okay. This is my opinion. And it's whatever you guys do to have fun. And believe me, I respect it all. However, just hear me out.
Here it comes.
Yeah. Me and James has talked before. When you fire IDPA or IPSC or any of that, you are just one individual going out there on that range and you are firing your gun. You have the whole range to yourself at that time. The only guns that are going off is your own. That's it. As you run through the course. Now on bullseye, when you shoot bullseye, you're shooting, 25-yard targets with one hand, but also you've got 30 guys doing the same thing right next to you. So it's like sitting there trying to concentrate in the middle of machine gun fire. It's very, very difficult to focus. And that's the one thing I will say about bullseye is that you got to learn to focus on front sight, and that right there becomes your entire universe. You get to a point where you wouldn't know if the whole world blew up, because you are so concentrated on that front sight that you are drowning out all distractions, everything. And that's what bullseye has taught me. And it's a very, very dynamic sport. It's an individual sport. It's boring to watch if you're a spectator. It's terrible. But as far as an activity to do, it is very challenging. You learn to do your best and live with it, and not take into account other people around you and how well they're doing. I mean, you learn to ignore the scoreboard. You don't go over there and look at that. You drown out all your negative thoughts about, everything. And you learn to live with what you did and move on. And it gets in it's a head sport, man. That is completely a head sport.
Oh, you're right. High power's the same way.
I tried high power.
After you pull that trigger, you just forget about it. You're on to the next round. Don't worry about what happened. Who's next? The only hard part is when you got a guy next to you hitting you with hot brass and you're laying prone and it's going underneath your jacket, burning you. You got 60 seconds to get 10 rounds off. 2 and 8.
Yeah, sitting in prone. Yeah, 70 seconds for prone. 300-yard prone. That's another thing too. When you jump down on your mat and you get your first 2 shots off, and you roll over and you take your magazine out, you throw your magazine off to the side, you put another magazine in, you hit your charge handle, roll back over on your elbow, and you should be right on your target again. And you start your squeeze, and so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you dump out the magazine, and then the targets get pulled down to the butts. And then they call out your target and say, we've only got 2 hits on 19. Guess what happened?
Shot the other guy's target.
Yeah, that's right. And everybody's done it.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, and you feel horrible. I mean, you feel horrible, man. That's the worst feeling in the world. It is. It's terrible. I mean, you look at the gun and you feel like standing up and going, hey, does anybody want this thing? Because I can't hit anything with it. I mean, it is. It's terrible. I mean, here you got this nice $2,000, M1A, and, making mistakes like that, you just got to learn to live with, and you got to do your best as you're rolling along. Now, guess what? You just blew your match because you just blew, 80 points, at least 80 points down off of your score. So you're going to have to learn with the fact that this one didn't work out. This is a practice session. In fact, from now on, they're all going to be practice sections. You have to get that through your head. You can't focus on winning. It's all practical practice, all of it. Just look at it that way. It's practical practice. I'm going to go out and I'm going to practice today in the tournament, and then I'm going to go to the state championship, and we're going to practice there too. And that's
when I was in basic training. We had a guy when I was in basic training, qualifying with the M16. I think it was 40 shots total, and you had to have so many in the target to qualify. And we had one guy that got expert. Because out of 40 shots, he had 47 on target. But the girl next to him was blind as a bat and hadn't gotten her glasses yet.
Oh man, yeah, that happened.
I have one better, Dave. One of my first cleans I ever done was a target right next to mine. 10 out of 10 in the 10 ring. First clean. Matter of fact, it was my very first time I cleaned a target. Shot the target right next to mine.
I'll tell you what, though, Willie. You got to believe, and that's the whole thing. And when you start having success, you have to believe you can do it. And once you start believing you can do it, and you start believing in yourself, and you have that confidence, cleaning the target becomes kind of like a no thing. You know how to do it, and it's just automatic. You know how to do it. And this is all with open sights too.
Oh yeah.
You know, this is with national match service rifles. It can be done. You know, you're out there at 600 yards and you pull down a 200, 14X. You know, I've done that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in a state match, we were having a 1600, and you can actually look it up. I was in Shooting Sports. Shooting Sports Illustrated, NRA. Yeah, because on the offhand with my M1A, I shot a 196 at 200 yards with an M14. The highest score that was fired was by Gary Rasmussen, who is the team captain for the U.S. Palma team, and he was standing right next to me. And he turned around and socked me in the arm. He says, "That was a nice piece of work."
Mm-hmm.
That was awesome, man. I'll tell you what, when you win, there's no drug in the world that's going to get you higher than that.
Oh, it's a great high.
When you have success like that, there is no drug that's going to last longer than that. Dude, you're going to be high on that for months. Even years after it passes, you're going to think of that, and you're going to get that endorphin thing going on. And
I was about to say maybe even years.
Huh?
I was about to say maybe even years.
Yeah, it does. It's accomplishments.
Any of you other guys do any sort of shooting sports at all? Any experience in that? I know Willie has.
They have nothing like that in my area.
Yeah, nothing for me yet. Something I would love to do, but just haven't.
Yeah, the closest one to me, Massachusetts. That's a long ride for me. So, but I would love
really
to try that.
that's weird. You think they would have a high power match by you from the DCM?
Yeah, no, they don't.
No, it's not from the DCM guys. Look it up on your state rifle and pistol associations. Go to your state, whatever state you're in, type it in, and then put in rifle and pistol associations, and then it should come up with a list or a contact that you can get a hold of that will have the match. It'll have the match schedules.
Yeah, because they're all over.
Yeah, they do it. This is all, it's all NRA.
Yeah, they'll have grands for you to shoot. You just pay for the ammo, everything.
Yep. Yeah, the CMP does. That's a CMP shoot.
Yeah. Well, that's all I did is service rifle. So.
Yeah. When I shot service rifle and high power, you're able to have certain, national match enhancements, like a hooded rear sight.
Oh yeah.
National match sights, national match barrel. You have to have a trigger of 4.5 pounds though. Mm-hmm. It's got to, if it breaks under 4.5 pounds, then you can't shoot your rifle. You've got to have a rifle that breaks at 4.5 pounds.
So for folks that are interested in getting involved in shooting sports but have never done that, where would Dave, you and Willie suggest folks start first as far as what sport they're looking for?
Well, for me, I mean, one thing was good for me is I started off as a junior shooter, so there was camps out there for the kids, and they would walk you through the whole. But this is all service rifle, and they had bullseye pistol training also, but I did all service grade. So, like Dave said, go online and look up your local area. And I love high power, but small bore. You want something technical? You go out there with that 22 caliber rifle that weighs 15 pounds, and standing offhand with someone next to you, and it's hella hot in there, no air conditioning, sweating your ass off, and looking at this little tiny dot iron sight, trying to hit that target. That's a challenge. I've always
like I said, you put in, like, if you live in Massachusetts, you go ahead and you put in Massachusetts Rifle and Pistol Association, and you see where that, you see where that leads you. See what kind of hits you get on that, and then once you're there, if like out here in Washington State, it's WSRPA.org, and that has all the match schedules. It has all the bullseye schedules for pistols. It has all that stuff. And another thing too, if, say for instance, you're watching YouTube and you see a guy that actually films some of his matches, say like you want to do IDPA or you want to do IPSC or a 3-gun or something like that, ask him. Just go into comments and ask him. Say, hey man, how do I get hooked up into the sport? How do I start being a competitor? I mean, that's the whole thing. That's kind of where reloading. I started off with reloading as a kid, and something my dad did. And as time moved on, I ended up going to ranges and shooting with my friends and stuff. And all it took was for me to go to one match, and that was it. I was hooked, and I started shooting competitively. I mean, I'm telling you what, you get hooked on it, and it's like, the boss will be asking you, can you work this weekend? No, I can't. I got to go to a match. I mean, it's that important, I mean, I don't care if I'm going to get paid overtime. I'm going to the match.
It can be fun. But service rifle matches, rain, shine, snow, it don't matter. You're shooting that match.
Yeah, that's it. Except for lightning.
Except for lightning. I've always wanted to do bowling pin shooting. I always wanted to do that. I never got into that. I always wanted to do that.
Some clubs still do it as just kind of a club function. I know that our club does that. They've got a little, what they call their combat course guys, and they go out there and they shoot falling plates at 50 yards, and they shoot the bowling pin thing, and then they go out there and they got a course of fire that they go through. And Rick Reitmeyer, he owns Aardvark Enterprise Bullets. He's the guy who used to run that out there at the club. They used to take the 50-yard line on a Sunday once a month, and they would do that. And I don't know if that fizzled out or what, but they used to do that all the time. You'd go out there and you go to use a 50, and those guys would be out there. Well, you might as well just get in your car and go home, because the only thing that was left was the 15-yard line, and I'm not interested in shooting 15 yards.
Sorry, guys, we didn't mean to take the chat over with the high power stuff and pistol stuff. Once you get into it, you can spend a lot of money doing it too, guys. You can dump a lot of money into it. The equipment, all the equipment.
Yeah, but Willie,
it's worth it, in my opinion.
No, well, I'm not saying Willie, you can do that on anything.
Yeah,
true.
Any hobby. I have found most hobbies tend to grow and grow until they consume at least 10% more time and money than you can afford to devote to them. I say as I'm looking at my new bullet mold.
There you go.
Take up riding motorcycles, brother.
Exactly.
Yeah, classic motorcycles.
I was very lucky. My mother put a lot of overtime in making sure that I was able to go shoot. I had a great mom.
So is this bowling pin thing, is that handgun?
Yeah. Big bore handgun.
What distance are you shooting at? 50 yards?
No, you stand and you can either be holding the pistol or you have it in a holster. It's up to you, and at least out at our club. And then they had this steel table all set up, right? And then they put the bowling pins out there, and it was probably at about 12 to 15 yards, and you just line up and bowl them down as fast as you can. You have so many shots, a time limit, something like that. But bowling pin shooting was really popular, back in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
A lot, I mean, you could go to bowling pin shoots and stuff like that where, yeah, it was a popular thing people did.
Always looked like fun. Always wanted to get into it.
Just go down a local bowling alley, start it up.
Yeah, I've gotten my boys every year bowling. They used to get a free bowling pin, and believe me, I've drilled them, tapped them, put an eye hook on it, and had them out there on the range swinging on a chain.
They're amazingly tough.
They are. Oh my goodness, I've hit them with 30 cows, and it just sucks that round right up.
Yep.
Yeah, the bowling pin. From seeing other people shoot them on video, I'm thinking you just shoot at them for a while, and then you throw it in the casting pot and let it all burn away, and you should have a bunch of lead there.
Exactly.
Yeah, at the club, the ones that were all shot up to pieces, they just go ahead and throw them in a 55-gallon drum and burn them.
Mm-hmm. Makes perfect sense because there's a lot of lead in there.
Well, gentlemen, we've been going at this now for a couple hours. Anything y'all want to highlight before either we wander off or anybody still hanging out in the side chat wanders off?
No, I'm just sorry we took it over. Sorry.
Oh,
Dave,
that's what it's here for.
I'm glad you came on, Dave. It's good to have you.
Yeah, well, first time I ever talked to you guys. Sorry if I just feel like I just.
No, you got to come over to the James chat. You got to come on a hat chat.
Your camera's out of focus, but other than that, we're good.
Yours is too, Bacon.
Oh, you don't want it to be in focus.
Yeah, people say stuff about my beard. I tell them it covers up a lot of ugly, and it does.
No, stop saying that, Jamie. Now, if we can get Miss Kitty, Vanessa Kitty, on a chat, that would be a feat.
You promised to talk about 44 Magnums or Kunins. She might do that, maybe. So I do want to throw out there, I don't have a lot of the details sorted out yet, but next month is the 1 year anniversary of the Reloaders Network website being up. And so we've started to talk to, and have a bunch more work to do, but we've started to talk to some companies about maybe doing a giveaway. And so sometime next month, I'm hoping to have a great big giveaway where a bunch of companies are donating all sorts of things as a celebration of the fact that we've been independent of YouTube for a year now.
That's
so
good.
More to come on that. We're also looking at alternate means of doing live streams. No promise on the details on that yet, but we're looking at it. And I think we're going to mix up this monthly live stream a little bit, because up until now, it was just kind of been, let's do it and see who shows up and see what topics show up, and life is good. But I think we've proven that having 10 people on at one time and no agenda really is pure chaos. And as fun as that's been, I think we may try to put a little more structure and rigor to it in the future. So hopefully you'll see announcements come out from several channels beforehand saying what the topic is and who's going to be on, and maybe solicit some feedback from folks of what they want to see addressed or who they'd want to see on.
Yeah, I saw some good ideas floating out there on Slack the other day. I think it's going to be a positive move.
And Jamie doesn't know it yet, but he's going to coordinate all that for us.
No, man, I nominated Ozark.
Oh, okay. That's your coordination. That's a good way to do that.
You can do that Ozark squat.
Delegation is a superior method of leadership.
You know it, buddy. Before you get off, I just want to say happy birthday to Warsaw. Everyone's wishing him a happy birthday in the side chat.
He mentioned it's next month, but that's not too far away.
And Uncle Jim's having a birthday coming up, guys. Happy birthday.
Tuesday?
I think
Or
so.
Wednesday?
That's what he said.
Yeah.
I'm still going to send him some zinc bullets with a chicken feather in it. Then shoot him. I love you, Jim. If you're still there, I love you, buddy.
I'm still figuring this thing out. How to read the side chat.
Yeah, so are we.
Exactly. What are you doing, Jamie?
Dropping my medicine. You had to ask.
I had to ask.
Yeah, I went to a motorcycle race today. It was pretty fun.
I was going to ask if you had a good time there.
I basically worked in the parking lot, but it was very crowded, very crowded. So, American Flat Track Series. You guys that like motorcycles, check out the American Flat Track Series when they come to your town. It's not as fun as going to the range, but it ain't bad.
There is something, I'm not quite sure what it is, but there's something there's a definite tie between motorcycles and firearms.
Yes.
Yeah, a lot of us guys that shoot also ride.
Yeah, I got one word for you guys. Chicks.
Exactly.
They like guys with firearms with motorcycles.
Oh, I thought you were referencing Willie's feather he's going to throw in that present.
Like I used to tell my son to do it because the chicks dig it, man.
Yeah, you can't lose, dude.
Well, there you go.
Well, gentlemen, it's been fun. I got to get off and go finish my wife's car. I just wanted to take a break and jump on for a little bit. Thanks for having me, Bacon. Dave, thanks for coming. Julio, you know I love you, buddy. And Jamie.
I love you too, buddy.
You know, Willie, I think we're going to follow your lead, and we're just going to go ahead and wrap the whole thing up.
All righty.
So thank you, everybody, for coming on. Appreciate it. Come on over and check us out at the Reloaders Network. If you haven't made it over there, again, we've had a few folks join recently as authors, and we've got several more that just asked to join. So a lot of content showing up there, and it's one place to find content from a bunch of different sites. So.
And I didn't forget you, the big man outdoors. I didn't forget you.
I wasn't worried about it. Yep.
So thank you, folks, coming on tonight. Appreciate you joining and keeping the conversation going. It's been awesome, and we will see everybody in videos coming up. And there's always, I don't think we've had a week go by in months without somebody having a live stream. So,
yep.
All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. I got to get ready to go to work anyway.
Yeah, and I'm going to go ahead and hang up here. So again, thanks to everybody, and have a great rest of your weekend.
Yep, you as well. Appreciate it.
Good night, guys.
Good night, guys.
All right, bye.
Have a great night.
All right,
Bye-bye.
see you. Bye.